karate lesson number 1, we talked about how to form the fist, the importance of structure, and striking with the 2 knuckles to maximize the effectiveness of the strike. Today we're going to talk about how to get the fist to the target for maximum effect. Now, we're not talking about the full punch. The full punch depends on the legs and the body for effectiveness. You want to get mass and acceleration. You want to get the proper angle so that you can deliver maximum power to the target point. All we're talking about now is how the arm moves for a straight punch. Quick note on that. We'll talk more about this later, but the straight punch is really your most effective self-defense punch. Now, you can argue about the power of the hooks and the uppercuts and how many people they knock out, but for self-defense purposes, we like the straight punch because it keeps the best range between us and the target. So, in karate, the punch is taught from here, not too low, not too high. You don't want it up tight, up high where the arm is tight. You don't want it down too low where it has to travel farther. We teach it right from here because this is where you're going to get the greatest distance between you and the target, moving in a straight line. So how does that straight line move? I'm going to slide, keeping my arm close to my body. As the elbow crosses my body and nears the target, I turn it. It turns for 2 reasons. One is to increase the power by rotating. It's not much of a power increase, but when you add that rotation, it does give you some power increase according to the physics studies I've done. The other thing, though, is when you rotate the arm, you minimize the chance of hurting your elbow. If you ever try just slapping a punch out with your arm up like this snapping action arm bars yourself. It hurts. If you've ever tried to punch the bag and missed and you felt that pain in your elbow, it's because you didn't rotate. Whereas if you throw the arm over, this action here, the power, the snap goes this way and it minimizes that pain on the elbow. So we rotate the arm as it comes out. So one more time, here's what the action looks like. As the fist comes out, it begins to turn once it passes the halfway point. Now there's another idea here too when you throw the punch. The idea is if I make contact anywhere along this line going to the target, moving in a nice straight line, if I make contact here, I'm in position for my uppercut. This is the proper position that I want to be in when I'm close. I'm still using the power of my shoulder and my back when I make contact here. As I move past this point and it begins to turn, that's where now I'm beginning to get the reach and the proper bone alignment to get maximum power in the punch. Now we'll talk more about the actual body positioning and how you get the body into the punch at another time. So right now the focus is only on the movement of the arm. Now, I teach it from here because this is where I learned it from. This is where you're going to get your maximum power, especially if you're pulling and punching towards the solar plexus. If you're fighting in close, you don't want your hand here. You would be delivering it from here. Same concept though. It's a little bit tighter from here. You lose a little bit in terms of power, but what you lose in power you make up with coverage for your face. And so that's why we normally practice it from here, even though we initially teach it from here. And in the katas, you'll see it always is delivered from here. Why? Because in these applications, you're holding, you've got the guy pinned, you're turning his arm over. It's not a sportive situation where you're moving around and the other guy's moving. You've got him turned over, you've got him pinned, and from here, you're going to deliver a punch that's going to break something and end the fight. It's a different animal. The same physics apply from here, though. When I throw the punch from here, the punch goes out. My fist is already vertical, but it stays vertical and then turns at the end. Same concept. Boom. Boom. And again, because this one travels further, it's this is the hypotenuse of a triangle. Straight line here, straight longer line here. This one just has a little bit more power. There's no magic in any of this. It's all physics. So that's how you keep your fist straight when delivering a straight punch. It applies to the jab and it applies to the cross. Both punches are delivered exactly the same way along the exact same line from point A to point B. That's karate lesson number 2.